Well, good Monday morning to you, everybody. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedules to join me for our Final Expense Monthly Monday webinar. Today is Monday, June 4th, and I am Matt Alina, and for those of you that do not know me, I am the Final Expense Manager here, and every Monday, the first Monday of every month, we try to get together to kind of share some of the success stories of what's going on in the final expense marketplace, as well as some of the challenges that we're experiencing as well. People that I talk to throughout the month, I try to compile some information, some good things, some bad things, and try to share that with you so you kind of know what to expect and how to overcome some of the different challenges that you may encounter in your final expense sales. But before we jump into everything, I just want to say to each and every one of you who are currently doing final expense production with us here at URL, thank you very much for your business. We had an outstanding month of May, and it's because of you and your hard work and your efforts. So on behalf of URL, the URL family, my family, thank you very much for your business. We appreciate you and all the efforts that you give us and all the business that you submit to us. It doesn't even mean for final expense. I mean, it's for all of your business and for your partnership. We do appreciate that, you know, we sincerely thank you for that. So during our time today, we're going to talk to some of our new agents that are on the call today to introduce them to final expense sales here at URL. We'll also discuss our lead program and how we subsidize the leads. We have a bunch of different sales tips. We have a company update. There's also some information that we're going to share with you to make you aware of some things that are going on in the marketplace right now. We will also have some poll questions. This is an opportunity for me to kind of gauge what's going on with you and to help me serve you better so that you can also join in the success of the final expense marketplace. And then it's an open forum. You can always raise your hand and I can unmute your phone or your computer speakers and microphone, or you can type your questions, type your comments, and I will read them aloud, and we'll be able to share some information with each other. So it's really kind of a give and take as well in our conversation today, our webinar presentation today. So let's jump into what we do here. We have the playbook for success. We're basically your final expense coaches, and some of you need more coaching than others, and that's fine. When you partner with URL, you get access to all bunch of different sales materials, from sales scripts, selling guides, online quoting. We have a proven turnkey marketing program, especially for you Medicare producers, that if you're doing Medicare and you're looking to cross-sell final expense to your Medicare clients, we have some great turnkey marketing programs and pieces in place that you can use. Just put your name on that, send letters out to your clients, and follow up with a phone call and drum up business that way. We do webinars, we do seminars, also one-on-one training, whatever we can do to help you become successful in the final expense marketplace. We have numerous lead resources. We have consumer materials, brochures, memorial guides, software, and a whole lot more. And then we also subsidize your leads based on your production. We give back in marketing dollars so that you can continue to see more people and sell more policies as well. We have a robust portfolio of final expense carriers. We're always looking at adding new ones, and you'll see that we have companies from guaranteed issue, which would be companies like AIG and Gerber and National Guardian and Great Western. Those are our guaranteed issue companies, as well as some of the most competitive final expense level benefit final expense carriers in the industry. So we have a full portfolio. There's about 18, 19 different companies that you can choose from. We don't recommend that you get contracted with all of them, but we do give you access to all these different ones, and we try to have the client fit, or have the company fit the client, not have the client fit the company, if you understand what that means. We can have more conversation about that one-on-one if you have any questions. We have a final expense quote engine available on our website at url.insgroup.com. Click on Aries, And then you'll click on the final expense button right here. And that'll then take you to the final expense quote engine page where you'll put in the state that you're in, the client's date of birth, male or female, tobacco or non-tobacco, the amount of coverage, level benefit. You can also change this to a graded or guaranteed issue and get quotes now. Our final expense quote engine does the shopping for you. So you'll see that here for a 50-year-old male, it does the shopping and kind of gives you the rates. Now, one of the things that I mentioned just a couple seconds ago actually, was not to get contracted with all the 18 companies. With these carriers, you'll see that there really isn't a huge difference in rates, maybe a couple of dollars here or there, but understand that your client may not be able to qualify for the very best rate. So this is more or less, this quote engine is really more for your eyes only, not so much for the client, because you may not be contracted with all of these different carriers, and it just kind of slows things down a little bit too. So understand that when you're using our quote engine, you'll want to zero in on the carriers that you represent, and then it's basically a tool that you can use so that you can get rates quicker, as opposed to using the rate guides or downloading all the different apps and quoting software onto your laptop or your phone or whatever. This is just a quick, easy way to get some rates and do the sale. Now, we mentioned our lead programs that we have available. So here are some of the lead choices that you have. If you're looking to purchase leads, we have lead mailers, where you would have a defined sales territory. Now, they're exclusive leads. All of these leads are exclusive. These leads are not resold. These leads are not going to you and a bunch of other agents in your area. These are leads that you've purchased, and they are specifically for you. So the lead mailers, you have a defined sales territory. Usually the sales territory is a county or a couple of different counties that you want to target. They're exclusive. They're never resold. The cost, depending on the state and the county that you're looking to get the leads, the cost is between $32 and $35 a piece, and they do have a 20 lead minimum order. Now, we also have verified teleleads. Those are $25 a piece. Again, you have a defined sales territory. It's divided by counties. The verified telemarketing company wants you to list at least 3 to 4 counties that you want to target. Again, these leads are never resold. They're exclusive leads. You are notified of these leads within about 10 minutes of the initial phone call. Now, when they make the phone call, they're verifying and they're using the word life insurance in the phone call, so the client knows that this is about life insurance. They verify the client is interested in talking about life insurance and meeting with you. They verify the amount of coverage that the client wants to get a quote, and they also verify who the beneficiary is going to be if they get the policy. They'll also ask the person if there's anybody else within the household that would like to get an life insurance quote. So again, those are $25 a piece, a 10 lead minimum order. Those leads have been working very, very, very well for a lot of our agents. One of the drawbacks that I've found here, and this is just full disclosure, is that in the more rural areas, this company is having a very difficult time fulfilling lead requests. So if you're in a more metropolitan area, closer to a major city, they'll be able to get you the leads very fast. Usually when you order them, in about 3 or 4 days, you're going to start seeing those leads just start to pour in. But if you're in a more rural area, it's very difficult. They're having a difficult time fulfilling the leads. That's where I would recommend maybe looking at a lead mailer, or do a mass mailer where you buy like a 1,000-piece mailer for around $450, $480, somewhere in that ballpark. Now, there's also, since it's 2018, social media is a huge presence in our life. We have Facebook leads. Those are $30 a lead with a 20 lead minimum order. You are notified in real time, and again, these leads are exclusive to you. And last but certainly not least, I mentioned this last month, we have some more details on internet leads. They're exclusive leads, and you are notified just in time by email and text message. The entire state is your territory, and yes, more than one agent can work that state. You are given a lead management system. Now, there's a landing page that this company will design for you. It's going to either have your company logo or it'll have your face on there, and it basically thanks the client for looking into final expense life insurance. The cost is $34.95 per lead with a 30-day commitment. Basically what it is when somebody goes and does a search, a Google search, or on Bing.com, when they do a search, there's an ad that pops up. And that ad, if they click on that ad and they're in your territory, then it'll go to your landing page, and then it'll basically say that it's not, you're going to be calling them, letting them know who you are, and again, it's $34.95, and we can talk more about that if you are interested in those leads. Now, sometimes you hear these costs of these leads, and you're like, man, the costs are really kind of salty. It's expensive. Let me show you something here. So we subsidize the leads because we know that the leads can be expensive, but we also want you to be successful, and we want you to look, or we want you to continue to get out there and sell and see more people. So we subsidize the leads. Now, for our agents who are Gemini partners, and a Gemini partner is someone that consolidates all of their business under one roof, and that roof being URL, we give back to you an $80 lead credit for every $1,000 of annualized final expense business that you place each month. For our standard partners, someone that's non-Gemini, we still will subsidize your lead costs. So instead of $80, we give you $50 for every $1,000 of annualized premium that you place each month. So we even if the client's paying on a monthly basis, we annualize that number and we give you that $50 lead credit. So to give you an example, let's say you did $5,000 in the month of May, and you did $5,000 in final expense business. Gemini agents are going to get a $400 lead credit, and our standard agents are going to get a $250 lead credit. That's how we give back to you. It's just another way for us to thank you for your business. Now, throughout this, the last month or so, I've been getting this recurring question. What is the difference between the companies that URL offers versus, say, Colonial Penn and Globe Life and AARP? So I did a little research, and I wanted to see, okay, we have AIG. That's one of our top competitors, or one of our top guaranteed issue carriers, best rates that we have available. And I was curious to see what Colonial Penn does. So Colonial Penn, this is for a 60-year-old female. Now, with guaranteed issue, it doesn't matter if the client's a smoker or a non-smoker. The questions that I had is, what is their rate and what is their graded benefit? So when you look at Colonial Penn, they have a graded death benefit. Now, you buy them in units, and it's $9.95 a unit, but the unit is what is different with Colonial Penn. Like in a traditional life insurance policy, say with AIG or Gerber or somebody else, one unit is usually $1,000. Now with Colonial Penn, what they do is, and this is so that you cannot, or the consumer cannot really do an apples to apples comparison to competitors. So what they do is they'll say it's $9.95 a unit, but that unit varies based on the person, whether or not they're a male or a female, or whether they and their age. But for a 60-year-old female, 7 units of death benefit is actually $11,437 with Colonial Penn. Now they have a graded benefit just like AIG, so it's graded for 2 years. If the client passes away in the first 2 years, the beneficiary is going to get back all the premiums paid plus 7% interest. So for $11,437 death benefit, the client is paying $69.95 a month. Here's AIG. For the same thing, it's apples to apples. Death benefit is $11,437. The policy is graded for 2 years. If the client dies in the first 2 years, the beneficiary gets the return of the premiums paid plus 10% interest, and the monthly premium is $51.33 a month. So you will see that it is not apples to apples. Colonial Penn, they're paying Alex Trebek a lot of money, and because of that, they have to charge a higher premium. So you'll see that just comparing prices, $11,437 death benefit, the client can get a better policy with AIG for $51.33 a month than Colonial Penn at $69.95. The return of premiums paid plus 7% with Colonial Life is less than what AIG would pay out. Both of these policies do have an accidental death clause in their policies that if the client dies in the first 2 years due to accidental causes, the full death benefit is paid out to the beneficiary. So $51.33 a month AIG, Colonial Penn $69.95. I kind of hope that that shows you a little bit of a comparison that your client is going to be able to get a better product with you through AIG or somebody other than Colonial Penn. Colonial Penn, the people that are answering the phone, they're order takers, where you are establishing a relationship with that client. Here's another sales tip that I came across the last month or so, and this is using GoFundMe to tell a story. If you go and you're meeting with a client and you have access to a laptop or a computer, go to the website GoFundMe.com. I'm sure we've all been there. We all know people who have put fundraiser requests out there. Type in the search engine funeral, and you will get a number of results, a number of people looking for money to pay for a funeral. Now, this was just a couple of weeks ago when I was putting these slides together. So I typed in funeral. 860,894 people are looking for money to pay for a funeral. If a client sets some money aside each and every month on a final expense life insurance policy, they will not have, their family is not going to have to set up a GoFundMe page. Now this number kind of tells a story. Number one, over 860,000 people are looking for money to pay for a funeral. A life insurance policy could have avoided the need for this GoFundMe page. The other thing is that maybe we're not doing our job as an industry in letting people know that life insurance rates are affordable, and leaving something behind for the family is better than leaving absolutely nothing. So this is a story you can tell with your clients or any of your prospects, is the story using GoFundMe. And I'm sure most people have heard of it, and let them know that by setting just a little bit of money aside each month, they will be able to avoid having their face and their family on a GoFundMe page. Let's move on to the next part of our segment here, and it's our company highlight. And we're highlighting this month Royal Neighbors. They're one of our newer final expense carriers to our portfolio. Royal Neighbors is a fraternal company, and what that means is that they offer member benefits, and those member benefits include dental benefits, vision benefits, special testing like MRIs and CT scans. They get discounts for that. Legal benefits. They get discounts to over 4,000 retailers across the country, like Costco and Universal Studios and a whole bunch of other retailers all over the country. So they give back. Now, the issue ages with Royal Neighbors is 50 to 85. The minimum death benefit is $5,000. It goes up to $25,000 for a level benefit and graded benefit. Their rates are competitive. Now, one of the things that gives them a competitive advantage over some of our other carriers in our portfolio, they do not ask about a client's height and weight. They don't care. And they have a 2-year look back on most health issues like heart attacks, strokes, cancers. And they're not really concerned about diabetic neuropathy. They don't ask about somebody that has had a TIA or a mini stroke. They're looking for the full-blown stroke. They have strong compensation, and they also have an annual convention every year. So your production that you do with Royal Neighbors this year would earn points towards Kauai for 2019. So if you haven't looked at Royal Neighbors, take a look at Royal Neighbors. We can take a look at some of the rates together and see if they're a competitive advantage in your portfolio. Now, I want to make you aware of a few things that are going on right now, some sales alerts. United Home Life, one of our key carriers for final expense, They are currently experiencing a 2-week processing delay, and that includes licensing as well as applications. They have seen such a large influx of business, they're trying to staff up to meet those demands. But just so that you're aware, typically with final expense business, 5 days and out is 5 days or less is actually the average turnaround time. United Home Life is experiencing a higher volume of business, so they are on a 2-week delay, but they are working on that. Now, one of the things when you partner with URL, instead of you having to deal directly with the carrier, you can deal directly with your case manager here, and we can kind of help that battle and help push things along for you. Just so you're aware of that. Now, the other thing is, and this comes from our licensing contracting department, when you're getting contracted with any of our carriers for life insurance, make sure your anti-money laundering training is up to date. We do have a few links on our website that you can do it for free. And also make sure that when you're submitting your contracting, that you also are submitting a copy of your current E&O if we don't already have it on file. So just a couple of notes there. It'll make your contracting go a lot quicker and a lot smoother. So have anti-money laundering training up to date, and make sure your E&O is current and up to date as well. Now, attention Medicare producers specifically, but it's really open to anybody. We have a seminar coming up here on Tuesday, June 19th at 9 o'clock here at our office at URL in Harrisburg. It is create extra revenue without extra effort. It's basically final expense sales ideas for Medicare agents, where we'll be touching on a bunch of different things, not just final expense sales. We'll also be discussing annuity sales and long-term care sales, and basically how Medicare business can springboard you into other sales opportunities. And we also have some information on how you really don't have to do anything. Let us work on it for you, and you'll still get some extras. You'll still get compensated for it. So mark your calendars. Register if you haven't already done so on our website for our upcoming seminar. It's here in-house at URL in Harrisburg. It's June 19th at 9 o'clock, and we'll have coffee and refreshments and stuff like that as well. All right, now it's time for some poll questions. This is an opportunity for me to kind of gauge what's going on with you and how I can help serve you better in the final expense marketplace. So let me ask you the first question. This is for people who are not currently selling final expense. Maybe you're on the fence. And my first question is, what is holding you back from selling and starting final expense? Are you not confident with the products? Do you need a good lead source, or do you need to select some carriers? What is holding you back from getting started? Go ahead and answer those questions. And again, this is an opportunity for me to gauge how I can help you, and so that I can either help you get confident on products, help you find a good lead source, or maybe you just need to select some carriers. Give you a couple more seconds to answer those questions. All right, thank you for answering. 67% of you on the call today said you're not confident on the products. That helps me gauge what I need to do better and how I can help grow your confidence on those products. 17% of you said that you need a good lead source, and 17% of you said you need to select carriers. So thank you very much for those answers to those poll questions. For those of you who are on the call today, are you interested in ordering leads? Whether it's leads through one of our vendors, or maybe it's a lead source that you have outside of URL, this will help me gauge who's interested in ordering leads, and we can take a look at some different territories together and help you start getting involved in final expense sales? Okay, 29% of you said yes, 71% of you said no. Okay. And then our last question is, what are your final expense sales goals for the year? How much extra revenue would you like to make selling final expense? Realistically, what are your goals? Give you a few more seconds to answer that question. All right. So 27% of you on the call today said that less than 25,000. 27% of you said 25 to 50,000. Another 27% said 50 to 75,000. 9% of you said between 75 and 100, and another 9% of you said over 100,000. For those of you that think that you cannot reach a $75,000 to $100,000 income selling final expense, I would love the opportunity to prove you wrong. I know it can be done. We have several agents that are doing it and doing it very, very well and consistently. So if you'd like to have that conversation sometime about how to meet those goals, get a six-figure income, it is definitely doable. So I appreciate you taking time in answering those poll questions. Now this moves to the next segment of our webinar today, and that is an open forum. We want to know, what are some of your challenges? What are some of the successes? And a lot of times when we're having a conversation throughout the month or throughout the weeks, you share them with me, and I appreciate that. And understand that I usually will share that information in these different webinars. It's more or less for me to be able to help each other out, because a challenge or something that you've experienced in the field may be something somebody else has already experienced, and this is how they overcame that. That's part of the reason for this whole webinar presentation, is to kind of share some information about what's going on in the field. So some of the challenges, what are some of the successes that you're seeing out there? How are leads working out for you? Understand that here at URL, we are not a lead generator here, but we do have some resources and access to different lead companies. So if some leads aren't working out for you with one company, we can certainly pivot and take a look at someone else. And if you're on the fence about final expense, what can we do to help you give it a try? I'd like to know that. What can we do to help you give it a try? It's extra money if not a primary market. So those are some things there. If you have any questions or have any comments, feel free to type those questions, and I'll be happy to read those questions aloud and get those questions answered for you. Let me put my contact information up on the screen. You'll see my toll-free number is 800-926-8875, and my direct extension is 141. Again, 800-926-8875, extension 141. Well, again, thank you very much for your business. Thank you very much for your partnership as well. Please keep me in the loop. Let me know what I can do to help you with your final expense sales efforts. Throughout the month of June, we had an outstanding month of May. Thank you very much for those of you that did some final expense business with us in the month of May. For those of you that are already participating in the lead programs, you will be getting notified of your lead subsidies that we'll have ready for you this month. So again, thank you very much for your business. I don't see any questions or comments coming in, so I appreciate everyone filling out those poll questions that participated, and just be ready for our next seminar that's coming up on June 19th. and our first Monday of July. I cannot believe we're already into June and looking at July. So thank you very much for your business, and we look forward to helping you become successful in the senior life marketplace. Until next time, have a great day, and we'll talk to you all soon.